All right, SlamZoneSports here. We are doing a review of AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming for 12/14/2022. I'm here with Fatal. Fatal's got a lot to say because during the watch along, if you didn't watch the watch along, Fatal was tearing kind of AEW apart left and right as the night was going on. For one, he said it needs to be another hour. I disagree with him with that one. And then the fact of the Death Triangle match, tear that apart. It was kind of like Fatal was sitting here just going, what are we doing? Am I watching WWE or am I watching the alternative? Which one am I watching? So, Fatal, you got the floor.
Oh man, tonight, yeah. AEW definitely needs to be 3 hours so they can, make up for the bullshit that they do put on the show. And second of all, come on. When AEW first started, it was all about wins and losses, right? That's already out the door. Then we want more decisive victories. We don't want any little bullshit, shenanigans happening, and that's all we got now. Literally it. You got hammers, you got brass knuckles, you got low blows, you got people interfering, you got indecisive matches. Why? Why? What's the point? You're just mimicking the other product because that's
Um,
what everybody else is doing.
I agree to you to a certain extent with it. Um, I would honestly tell you, um, WWE has been the same. It's not been any entertainment at all. AEW, I kind of do like the fact that they do little corny things to get victories. I kind of like that in a way, but I can understand every once in a while. Great, I'm with you with that. Every once in a while, but every single time it gets a little stale. I could see where you're coming from with that, especially in the Death Triangle match. I was okay with Nick Jackson going to the backstage, right? You know, getting medical treatment to come back out, and we're going to have this hurrah, hurrah match, right? Then you have, was it Pentagon or was it Ray Phoenix using the hammer, right? How many more times do we have to use the hammer? You know what I mean? I'd rather have, honestly, I would rather have on AEW Dynamite, I don't know about you, but I would rather have a hardcore match personally as one of the stipulations. Each stipulation should have been something different. It's been the same thing over and over again. A singles match, pin, release, you know what I mean? Pin, 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 pin. You know what I mean? I wish every match had a stipulation to it, you know, where one's a hardcore match, then maybe one's a tables match, maybe one's in a cell, maybe one, you know what I mean? Different things, and then make the last one very interesting, you know? Kind of like what FTR and the Briscoes are. You know, if you're going to make these titles prestigious, don't put don't make it corny, you know what I mean? If you're making these trios belts to be the be all end all on AEW, you know, making it featured, right? Because the Elite are going to win this, right? If you like it or you don't, the Elite are winning. The way it's looking, the Elite are going to come back. We're going to have this raw thing because they're already setting it up. And pay homage to the old NBA on NBC theme song, literally, that they had going on throughout the night. But I'm with Fatal to an extent that maybe they need to clean up the trash segments, you know, like the throwaway segments and things like that. They could save that for Rampage more than an AEW personally, like a lot of the Ring of Honor stuff. Like tonight, I keep saying this again, I don't know if it was filler or not, but you had AEW stuff, Ring of Honor stuff on AEW. I thought we were doing none of it. I thought it was done. I thought all that was done. We were going to get
Well,
more.
I mean, they botched that and abolished that whenever they decided to keep the fucking RH title around Samoa Joe and the TNT title.
I agree with that. They should have had him lose one of them to Juice Robinson. And
I
here's another thing. Juice Robinson signed to AEW. Why was it? Okay, so I had a chance to play back the pay-per-view, right? I don't know if Fatal picked up on this. Fatal kind of said to me Juice Robinson was signed a while ago, right? Why are they not saying anything about Juice Robinson being signed? That makes no sense to me. Juice Robinson, new guy coming in. or new Ring of Honor signee or something. They didn't. They just made him out to be he's still at New Japan when he signed officially with AEW. Nobody knows that. He signed a big year contract with them. Don't understand. Can't get it. But it's WWE. It's AEW's moves, man. Like, I like what AEW's doing right now. They're going in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. And today, WWE took an L. Well, we're going to do a video on that. But WWE took a huge L today. Like, you allow content. You allow people to open up OnlyFans and all these places. But you take an L. But that's just my personal opinion. But I was really...
You can't have that content on a PG show.
True that. We'll get into that video coming up here. So again, I'll read this match. Penta and Nick exchange reversals. Nick, into an armbar. Drag fall. Matt Jackson, I believe it was Nick or Matt, went to the back locker room to get checked out, evaluated to see if their knee wasn't broken or not, or knee was injured or not. So just keep that in mind. So Nick and Mac Jackson were hurt most of the... Hold on a second. I may have to... Hold on, Fatal. No. Unhide all. Okay, I'm making sure. All right. Sorry about that. Making sure I didn't have any of the audio sources going through, like the Fortnite footage here that I have going on. I was making sure. Nick Jackson got put in because of his knee, and came back, and then they did the whole hammer, and I think they did their special move to get the 1, 2, 3. It's going to set up to where the Elite are going to have to win all 4 matches to literally win the rest of the matches going forward, to not get a sweep, not to be pretty much swept. So that's where that is. With that, was the match good? To a certain extent, yes, but they're doing the same thing over and over again. It's getting a little old. With Fatal, they should do different tactics or different matches every week. Like a falls count anywhere to a who can get the most falls, or submission match, something. Spice it up a little bit.
Instead, it started out as, we're just going to do it at different venues and different weeks.
Right, and do the same thing continuously.
That triangle's just going to win by shenanigans.
Yes.
For 3 matches.
So MJF after that cuts Omega cuts a promo out after the ring, says goodbye, good night, whatever he does. He says the next match they're going to have, they want to use a hammer to win. They're going to have a no disqualification match. So that's what our hardcore match.
Tony Khan came out and did one even better. So next match, there's no disqualification. If it goes to the next match after that, it'll be a falls count anywhere. And then after that, the final match, if it goes to 3-3 and it goes to a tiebreaker, it'll be a ladder match.
Okay.
Which that's what they're going to go for. The final match is going to be a ladder match. You can guarantee, mark my words now, I'm predicting it. It's going to be the Elite wins the next 2 matches. I
gotta be honest, you gotta give Tony Khan credit. At least he's not doing the same matches every week. Singles match,
But it's predictable.
Hammer. True. Well, the rest of these matches are predictable if you really look at it. The Elite are winning all the rest of them. You can't have Elite lose in LA. This big thing they're setting up for, you can't have them lose. That's in Nick Jackson territory. Matt and Nick Jackson.
Sure. Because it could be just setting up for Matt and Nick to go back on their just duos thing, and Kenny Omega to get prepared for Wrestle Kingdom 17 when he goes to face Will Ospreay for the NJPW United States Championship.
Well, every time Tony Khan has something big that happens in a town, right? Usually they win. Usually, like Thunder Rosa won it in Texas. So yes and no. I could see them winning, but at the same time, I could see Death Triangle, or I could see Kenny Omega walking in with that title, just shining on New Japan. I could see it. I like the series. I mean, I feel a little different than yourself. I like the series to an extent. Did we need to have 5 matches, though? 7 matches? No. I don't think we need to have the best of 7 series here.
Not without vacating the titles.
Exactly. There need to be something more to this thing. Like, I've been wanting kind of like, when you watch playoffs, right? When you watch an NFL playoff game, you feel it, right? I don't know. It just doesn't have that MMA kind of vibes to it to me. Like the hype vibes going into it. That's just my personal opinion. But MJF, after the promo, MJF cuts a wild promo. Cuts a wild promo to me. Like, the first half of it wasn't good. And then the other back half of it was really good. It felt like MJF is kind of losing his luster with promos now. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about that promo that he cut, Fatal? Like, to me, it just felt... I don't know. The first half of it was good. The other half wasn't. How did you feel, Fatal, about the MJF promo? I will say this too. I will say this about MJF. His promo work is great, but this tonight wasn't that good. It was kind of subpar. Very, very subpar. Then we had Brian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Brian Cage is great talent, but he does a lot of too much taunting, too much showboating in the ring. I know he's trying to be a showman and all that shit, but I just feel Brian Cage is better than that, and he was better than that in Impact Wrestling. Jungle Boy got the victory here. They cut to too many commercial breaks, personally, for my taste here. Cage tried to do some type of F5, then tried to do the drill claw. Then it went back and forth between sparring, couple of roll-ups. Jungle Boy ultimately got the win here. And Jungle Boy needs to look strong because Jungle Boy needs to look strong going in against Big Bill, formerly known as W. Morrissey. And thank God that they gave Morrissey a new name. Big Bill is so much better than Morrissey. And I think a lot of us were asking for that. Yeah, they come out what are they called? I forgot. The Firm. Sorry, the Firm came out. Stothy Hathaway is a great piece of talent. Like, he can literally be a manager for anybody. Came out, cut a promo, and then Big Bill and Moriarty came out and beat the shit out of pretty much Jack Perry or Jungle Boy. Sorry, Jungle Boy. Sorry, I call him Jack Perry Jr. or Jack Perry because I wish they'd just call him Jack Perry. I'm so over Jungle Boy. Just call him Jack Perry. Have him come out, Jack Perry, get rid of the jungle gimmick, make him wear a shirt, and like, I don't know, change his gimmick. That's what I'm saying. He would be better as Jack Perry to me. And get rid of the Jungle Boy gimmick because Jungle Boy ain't working to me. It's not, not getting him over to what I want it to be. It's kind of lost its luster to me. I like the music though for him. They can keep the music. I don't mind him keeping the Jungle Boy music. Just change him into something else when he comes out. Or give him badass music or something else. Maybe I'll give you a suggestion, Tony Khan. Here's a suggestion. Give him like something from I would honestly tell you to give him something from like Linkin Park or something. Give him something like give him some badass music. Smashing Pumpkins, Metallica, something. I would love to see him with different music personally. Anything. Personally. So, Jack Perry wins, and then there was the fuckery at the end of the match. And then we have House of Black versus the Academy. This was the throwaway match of the night. The House of Black wins anyway. House of Black was going to destroy people. That's what they're doing. At the beginning of the match, Julia Hart sprays black mist into the face of Nick Carano. And we're off to the races, and it's pretty much a squash match at that point. The factory was there just to boast our talent, what it looks like. So there's that. And then the Combat Club, or the Blackpool Combat Club, cuts a promo. Moxley, I mean, to me, I like the Combat Club. I think it's great to see Moxley in front of it leading a faction to me. But Moxley would be better on his own. That's just my personal opinion with that. Moxley would be better as a heel on his own, doing his thing. I don't think he needs the Combat Club, but the Combat Club is over in AEW, honestly. So, and, you know, they want to keep it alive. They want to push it to the moon and back, so I see why. But Moxley would be better on his own. I think Moxley should be fighting for a TNT belt at this point against Samoa Joe. Maybe an All-Atlantic Championship to make that kind of put that title over a little bit because Orange Cassidy ain't doing shit for it. That's just my personal... Jon Moxley can go anywhere and do anything. Technically. And I thought he was going on vacation. That's what I thought he was doing. So I guess he's going to be fighting. Yeah, House of Black wins that match. Pretty much Moxley cuts a great promo as usual. And then we have another promo with Adam Page. Pretty much Adam Page basically says he's not been medically cleared, which is all kayfabe. Saying he'll fight Moxley anywhere, anytime on Friday. I'll be there. I'll show you. We'll fight anywhere. He was saying something to do with he forgot where he was and something to do with some kids on Twitter, something like that. You know, he's going to take Moxley to hell. What a promo. Got to give him to Adam Page. Chris Jericho and Action Andrade. Honestly, Chris Jericho, you gotta love Chris Jericho here. He put over talent. He made this kid look really good. He made the home talent look good, and that's something WWE don't do. That's the thing they don't do here. So they put him over, and what a match. Chris Jericho went for the Lion Tamer several times and didn't fall short. He fell short badly. Then Chris Jericho, as we come back from commercial break, throws a tantrum. So is Chris Jericho I was telling Fatal, is Chris Jericho going to lose it all? You know, is that what they're going for in AEW? So we have a commercial break. Andrade wins. Ty Mello, Ruby Soho. Good match. I gotta say, good match. Ruby Soho, glad to see her back. Another woman bolstering the roster a little bit. This was a match you kind of got up for, kind of took a stretch break, but honestly, wasn't that bad, and it sets up for one of the upcoming talents. I mean, Ty Mello, she's not great. Mediocre. I mean, kind of. And Sammy Guevara and her kissing as they get into the ring, I just don't care for it. Is Fatal back?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you, so I'm reading off the matches. Anything you want to say about those matches, buddy?
No, not really.
Not really? Got you. Anything you want to say about the pasting of AEW? I know you said the pasting was kind of a little weird. Some of the promos were a little weird. I know you've been a big believer of Jon Moxley being on his own. You say
that was a good promo by him.
I think you were the one that was telling me that about Jon Moxley should be out on his own, not with the BBC.
I mean, it looks like just Shield 2.0, but yeah.
You've said he's much better on his own. He should be going after other AEW titles instead of or Ring of Honor and doing his thing. I agree with that. He should. To me, I don't understand why tonight we needed to feature. I get we have to feature them, right? Both of them are champions. I get it, but this screams why we should have television already for Ring of Honor. This should be a Ring of Honor thing. But that's just me. Ruby Soho does win that match, and then Anna Jay comes out. Anna Jay is future talent. Anna Jay is good shit. It's just, unfortunately, she's in the wrong faction. She shouldn't even be in a faction. She should be Anarchy on her own. Anna Jay will be a future champion. Mark my words. Either TBS or women's champion. Anna Jay is good shit. She's coming up on her own. She doesn't need Ty Mello. Ty Mello is what's killing her, honestly. Ty Mello is bringing her down hard. And Sammy Guevara ain't helping that either. Sammy Guevara, is it just me, Fatal, or do you believe the same thing I do? Sammy Guevara's star power has kind of gone downhill since being back in the JAS. Is that just me? Like, Sammy's just...
A little bit, yeah.
Looks like a glorified jobber when you watch him.
I don't know. Sammy didn't really ever have any star power for me.
Really? Interesting. Okay. Well,
he's always been like a dark talent. Somebody needs to come up a little bit.
But yeah, I will honestly tell you guys this. That match was good. Ruby Soho, glad to see her back. Anna Jay needs to be somewhere else out of the JAS because it's not working for me. Then we get to a commercial break, and then we finally get to the AEW World Championship match. And this is where Fatal, at the time of when they were getting ready for it, is when Fatal turned around and said to me, they need to be 3 hours. And I went, are you serious? I looked at him. I was telling him, are we going there? We need to have 3 hours
It
of
just
Dynamite.
feels too fast. It feels too fast.
You feel it's too fast? I feel like
They
the pacing
got so
is
much
great.
more talent. Like if they add another hour, they'd have more time to feature more storylines and more matches from people like Miro and from
This is where
others.
Dynamite, this is where Rampage should be 2 hours. I really think that you...
But nobody watches Rampage because it's taped.
Yes, and they need to be live. And here's the thing about about Rampage. They need to go earlier. Personally, they need to go 2 hours earlier because more people would watch it on Friday if it was 2 hours earlier. A lot of
They're
people...
not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to go 2 hours earlier because then they're going head to head with SmackDown.
Go on before SmackDown.
At 7?
Yeah,
when people are just getting home and having dinner with their families from work and shit.
Well, it's hard.
Nobody's sitting down watching TV at that time.
Well, it's gonna be hard for AEW because here's the conundrum. Fucking Tony Khan's in. Where do you put Ring of Honor? You know, everybody's been talking about this. Where do you put Ring of Honor, and how many hours do you put it on for? Where do you put it on? If you go TV, they're now talking that it may go Access, and I'm like, why would you put it on Access right before New Japan comes on Thursdays? That makes no sense to me. You put that on a streaming platform and I just don't get the logic of some of these people on the internet, reports saying, oh, it's going to be on Access. Who the fuck is watching Access? It's a hard sell.
Not many.
It's a hard sell for Impact. I'm one of the few that have the ability to watch Access a week. Do you know how many people don't? Lots of people don't. And that's why Impact sucks.
Lots of people.
Now you know why Impact went the way of DAZN. Now you know why they signed a streaming rights deal over with DAZN to get into millions of homes. That's why. That's just purely why. MJF match. Look, we all knew that.
Fuckery.
We knew fuckery was going to happen. We all knew Ricky Starks was going to have a good match and be featured, right? But not win. We knew he was going to be shown off to the world. Ricky Starks, I've said this to Fatal from day one. And Fatal said, Ricky Starks is just no. And said it to me many times. And I told him, like, you haven't seen NWA version of Ricky Starks or MLW's version of Ricky Starks. Because Ricky Starks is the shit. Now they're letting him shine.
I'm not even a Ricky Starks fan, and I don't even agree with his push. But after his promo last week, I would have let him win this week, even if he just held on to the title for a fucking week and gloated about it a little bit and then dropped it back to MJF. Just a little fluke victory for him would have meant a lot. I think it would have been funny. And I think it would have been good television.
Right. But yeah, MJF does win this with a low blow. Typically, this is going to be MJF matches going forward. This is
low
going to
blow, fuckery. Hey, I win.
Kind of like early.
He did say that in the promo, though.
It's going to be early on Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns started the Bloodline, he was like that. You know what I mean? Very, very like that for a quick minute. So I'm just being honest with you guys. That's kind of what these matches are going to be going forward. You expect fuckery.
But it sucks.
Well, you can't give MJF all this money and have him lose. He's got to have a... Remember, we all said this. He better have a Roman Reigns-esque run. Here we are. And he's going to hold the belt for 2 years. That's the thing here. He's holding it for 2 years. Mark my words. If he loses anytime soon, it puts a whole damper on everything that he worked on. But I could see him losing the belt because his promo work tonight wasn't that good. Seriously.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to watch MJF hold the title for 2 years straight.
Well, that's the way they're going with it personally. Do I agree with all of it? Do I agree with all of it? No. No, I don't. But, tonight, what are we giving tonight? What are we giving as a final score, final thoughts? What are we giving?
They get a C.
Ooh, Jesus. Wow. I'm going to go B- here. I'm with them. Fails going C, I'm going B-. I would say it's an average show at best. And do you feel like this Winter's Coming is kind of a watered down from last year? I don't know about you. When Sting came out and everything, when they do the whole thing, there was no Sting tonight. There was no, Winter's Coming, with the fake.
Yeah, it wasn't there, but
it didn't have the vibes.
I don't know why they decided that wasn't something they were going for.
Right.
Like actually going with themes and shit, but sure.
But,
I mean, I guess they're waiting for next week, maybe. I don't know. For the holiday shit.
so there's the holiday bash coming up. There is the New Year's show coming up soon for AEW. Then we have Revolution. So they announced Revolution. So Revolution's their next pay-per-view coming up. That's going to be their big one. Next to Double or Nothing. So we're going to see from here and now, and I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think by LA show, we see Sasha Banks somewhere. We're going to see a juicy name somewhere. Now, with Mandy Rose now on the table, we're going to see what Tony Khan does. Does Tony Khan sign Mandy Rose? Mandy Rose, I believe, got fired. And no non-compete clause. Just purely fired. So we're going to see if Tony Khan picks up WWE's mistake. We're going to see here. I'm going to be fascinated. Bring in Sasha Banks, Mandy Rose. It's going to be interesting. To me, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a wild couple of months because Kabushi is sitting out there as well. So, and WWE's all high up on him. They want to sign him for big money. So it's going to be an interesting 3 months when it comes to the wrestling industry. And Adam Cole's already talking about that he's ready to come back. It's interesting. That is interesting to me. He's been sitting bored. So that's going to be interesting. We have Adam Page coming back, which is good. We need him back. Miro, did Samoa Joe set up a kind of a feud with him through the media scrum? That's going to be the $1 million question going forward. Does Miro come back, take TNT belt, and we have finally Miro back on television? Because that needs to happen ASAP. Tony Khan, I told you this. My guy, every week, if I don't see Miro on my television, I'm tweeting you until I hear an answer from you of Miro coming back. Miro needs to be back on your television because that TNT belt, they need to have something for it. They need to have a really good feud. And right now, Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson, in my opinion, ain't it, Chief. Ain't it? And Wardlow ain't it, Chief. I would like to see you guys blow off the roof with each other at a pay-per-view, personally. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, this has been Slam Zone Sports. Make sure to follow everything to do with Slam Zone Sports down below in the description and my channel down below as well. And Fatal's channel will be as well there. If I haven't added it there, it should be there. Thank you guys for stopping in. I will see you guys on the next one. And, yeah, peace out. Talk to you soon.